Welcome to another Burgundy with Tweedy video. Change of location, as you may have noticed. I've been out and about doing a bit of wine shopping in London today. I thought I would try a new, to me, wine shop. It's called the Winery, and it's in sort of, I suppose the area is Maida Vale / St John's Wood. Bit of a trek for me. On the way back I thought I would come the scenic route. I'm walking along the Regents Canal and I'll maybe stop off and actually try some of the wine that I picked up there. Isn't that lovely? I felt like there ought to be a word for that. It's the that dappled reflection of sunlight bouncing off the water and then on the underside of the bridge. Also reminds me of Venice. The wine shop is called the Winery today, but it was originally, I think, called Maida Wine Stores, and you can still see the old sign on the front. Beautiful shop inside, some really nice old shelving units, and the lady behind the counter said that it may have been a wine shop or some sort of shop for at least 100 years on that site. I had looked them up on the web beforehand and determined that they had a respectable, interesting Burgundy selection, including some producers that were new to me. And in particular, what caught my eye were they had a couple of different wines from the Cote d'Or Appellation, or should I strictly be calling that a geographic denomination. This is actually a new geographic denomination. I think it dates back to 2017. It is just a step up from Bourgogne Rouge for red wine, which is that absolute base level denomination or appellation that tells you simply that the grapes come from somewhere in Burgundy. And as the name suggests, the Cote d'Or Appellation suggests that the grapes are from somewhere within the Cote d'Or. It could be the Cote de Nuits, it could be the Cote de Beaune. I decided to come and sit on Primrose Hill, old favourite spot of mine. I don't get here very often because the heath's a bit closer to where I live and it's a bit more like proper countryside. Lovely views to be had from the top, but it is also, whenever it's even remotely sunny, a very crowded spot. So I've come a little way down the hill to sort of slightly shady a bit, not so many people here. I do have at least a little bit of a view from here. It's not great, but it'll do. This is the wine I'm going to be tasting today. This is a producer that is new to me, Robert Sirugue, is it? Or Sirugue, S-I-R-U-G-U-E, based in Beaune, Romane. And it is a 2021 vintage, so I'm almost certain I'm going to decide I think this is a bit too young at the moment. But as I said, this appellation, this geographic denomination, is particularly interesting to me because it's relatively new, established in 2017, the Cote d'Or. I think possibly up to the an earlier vintage, maybe the 2020, I think this producer was selling what I presume was effectively the same wine under just the generic Bourgogne Rouge label. So I've had a bit of a hard time trying to figure out where exactly the parcels that make up this wine come from. One possibly older mention, which was referring to that era when it was still being sold as a Bourgogne Rouge, said that they were from Chambon-Musigny and Nuits Saint-Georges, and also is it Vougeot? I can never pronounce that one. My head's not off the top of the screen. Okay. Well, it is a very sunny day, but that's looking slightly lighter side of medium colour-wise. Yeah, it's a delicate sort of a nose. I think I'm getting more subtle floral hints than fruit to begin with. Gentle sort of rose petal sort of aroma there. There was obviously some fruit, but it's slightly hard to pin down what that is. Yeah, kind of delicate sort of blossomy kind of fragrance. Tiny bit thicker on the palate than I would have expected initially. And then I suppose the fruit character on the palate is delicate red berry fruit, so it's a bit of raspberry maybe. Quite zingy in a way, definitely a fair bit of acidity there. Hard to put my finger on that. A hard wine to pin down. I may need to mull that over for a while. I've mulled this over for a while and I would say it's pleasant. It's definitely one of those lighter style wines. I think it's relatively low on the extraction during the winemaking process. Perhaps not exactly my ideal style. I'm getting a little bit more fruit character from it now, perhaps sort of light subtle cherry, and like I say, it's more kind of, you know, delicate red berry fruit, raspberries and stuff. It's okay, it's interesting, it's something a little bit different. It's interesting to try this different appellation, which in a way doesn't tell you anything because of course the Cote d'Or covers all of the Cote de Nuits, all of the Cote de Beaune, so it's the sort of superset of everything I would ever drink and then some. No real clues as to what the wine is going to be like stylistically based on that, and I think this is more probably influenced by the winemaking style of the house. So maybe this gives a hint as to what their Beaune Romane would be like, which I think is probably twice the price. What I would say in its favour is this is, for a 2021, I don't get any of those kind of usual sort of negative sides of a wine feeling far too young. It doesn't have that kind of immature sort of fruit character or the kind of greenness that I've had in a couple of recent post 2020 wines. It is just, it is very light. That is the style of winemaking here. If that's something that you don't mind, if you don't mind something more delicate, elegant, floral and light and low on the extraction, then I think that's potentially quite a pleasant wine. It's okay, it's interesting and a little bit different as something to try as a one-off. Cheers.